Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to my podcast. It's called It's Good to Talk. I always have guests on. Today, it's no exception. Two guests today, actually, mother and daughter. I'll come to introduce them in a moment while I give a shout out to my sponsors, Liffey Van Lines, moving company here in New York City. They've been going around longer than the New York City Marathon, running very smoothly, long distance, shipping overseas, storage, and everything else. Can't buy experience. I also give a shout out to the Irish Examiner USA, a great paper here in New York City, good for advertising, good for local events, and amazingly good with art and music and festivals. Very busy summer coming up, all kinds of festivals. A little touch of politics here and there, especially from Europe. European elections took place. Local elections in Ireland took place. And next week, I will have two guests on again that were successful in winning in the elections in County Sligo. Gino Boyle is one guy, and he ran for a party called People Before Profit, okay? And we'll get into that as well. I did promote a book as well, so I will talk about that. And that's how it all started. The book is on Amazon. It's also on audio. You can buy that book. It's about my friend Tony McGurn, and it's his life story. So with that being said, I'm going to move on to my guests. I have Kerri and Brianna. It's a mother and a daughter team, and we're talking about popcorn today. Hello, girls.
Hi.
Okay, good to have you. Okay, mother and daughter team here. Let me give a little backup so my listeners know how we met. I only met you once, actually, but you did make an impression. So I was down at the Tintin Challenge, Awards Challenge, a few weeks back with Rob Walsh and his team from Tintin Wins. So Tintin Wins says, give us 22 minutes and we give you the world. Okay, give me 30 minutes today and I will give you the bronze and a story about popcorn. Back to Kerri, back to Brianna. Where were you born, ladies? And I know mother and daughter, but tell me more.
I was born here in Rockland County, New York. My husband's from Sligo, and that's our first daughter of 4 kids, and she was born in Rockland. So go ahead and tell us that.
I was born over across the bridge in White Plains, but I was brought up over in Rockland County, New York, and that's also kind of a huge part of our story because this is where we are currently doing business and where everything kind of started with Bre Marie Gourmet Popcorn.
Okay, I like the story already. It's going to get better and better and better. So going back to Robert Walsh and the Tintin Wins Challenge, like how did you hear about that in the first place? Like it's what caught your attention with Tintin Wins?
So we have a third business partner. Her name is Donna, and she was working on filling out a lot of business grants, and she had filled that out. And we, luckily we got the call. Brianna had the interview with Rob, or was it? Who was the interview with? Do you recall?
It was the guy that.
Dime Bank?
Yeah.
And she did great on the interview. Donna submitted a great application, and we were chosen to be at the event that we met you at a couple of weeks ago, which was so much fun, exciting.
Yes, indeed. And you caught my interest because I used to own a restaurant in Ireland called Mother Hubbard's on the main road in Dublin and Galway. So I'm very familiar with the hard work that goes into starting a business, setting up a business, and then making it successful. And of course, the marketing background. Let me name who else was at so Steve Miley is the chief marketing officer from Dime Bank. He was one of your adjudicators, very, very interesting guy. And Samtra Kisak is the CEO of Hudson Square Business, and she was another lady. And Susan Parrish has a PhD. She's the president of Mercy College. I think she's a nun, okay, a nun with a good habit. I did have a smuggling nun on here selling poutine, moonshine. And Rob Walsh, of course, from Tintin Wins. So let's go back to the popcorn and why and how you started it.
Well, we started this back in 2021. I had just graduated from college, and it was just after the COVID-19 pandemic. So it was really hard at that time to find a job, and I was a little bit hesitant on trying to find something in the city. There wasn't really a lot of job opportunity because the world was a changed world at that point. So I decided to start looking for a business opportunity for myself in my hometown of Rockland County, right here in Blauvelt, New York. Mm-hmm. And I was approached with this idea for gourmet popcorn. And the more that I learned about it, the more that I fell in love with the idea. Okay. And I thought that it was something unique and fun, and kind of started up our fundraising aspect of the business in 2022. And since then, that's been the majority of our business. And we really just enjoy helping out local organizations and communities.
Right. I'll come to that in a moment, too, because I'm involved with the Mayo Society of New York. On the same evening I met you ladies, I went to the Mayo Society's last meeting before they go on their recess for Christmas. And, a topic came up there, a young woman from County Mayo, Glenamoy, where I was born. I got a rare disease and she's in hospital and she needs to raise €200,000 or £200,000 to have this very expensive operation. The community has already raised over half of it. And then that's why I got the idea from you to do the fundraising event with where you guys give half of the proceeds back to whatever charity, and that would be the Mayo Society. Kieran McCandler was the president of the Mayo Society and Maureen Gibbons the vice president. And they were over the moon about the idea and the concept, and they loved it. And that'll go out on their social media and their website and everything like that, and we'll be pushing it hard because it'll go on until the middle of August. So the middle of August is kind of a very big religious day in Mayo and in Ireland. Okay, deal with the Blessed Virgin. That's amazing. I gave a shout out here, and I'm an atheist. But anyways, it's good to talk. So it's good to talk is the name of the podcast. My guest, Kerri and Brianna. And let's get back more then into the nuts and bolts of the popcorn idea. It sounds like, Brianna, you were very enthused about it, and it is a creative idea, and it does have a unique selling point. That's a marketing term, USP, unique selling point. So, like, say, day one, what did you do? Did you just get pots and pans and start up?
It was actually a really interesting story. So I actually flew out to Iowa and I got trained by people over there, and they taught me the nits and the grits of how to make gourmet popcorn. There's a bunch of different cooking processes that you can do for the popcorn. There's different kernels, and different kernels work well with different coatings. So we do like a mushroom popcorn for a candy coated popcorn, like a caramel, or we'll do a butterfly popcorn for a cheese base. So I learned a lot while I was over there. And then when I came home, there wasn't much opportunity for getting space or anything yet. So I was lucky enough where my parents let me take over the kitchen. So me and my mom spent a lot of days in our kitchen just coming up with these recipes together.
Okay. Well, I must say you're very, very, very creative, and I'm sure you were a good student, and you still are a good student because you're still learning from your mother, of course. Yeah. So that's kind of was the foundation of it. And then let's talk about some of the hardships of starting up a new business. I remember when I opened my business, Mother Hubbard's, I had my own garden to grow vegetables and all that. Some of the neighbours came in, and the first evening they came in, one guy's wife was very picky, and she found a snail in the salad. And I'm like, oh my God, this is my first day opening a restaurant. And this lady that's very anxious finds a snail. So I just said to her, well, at least it shows that is very fresh, even though it wasn't. So, but you continue from there. You don't let something knock you aside, and you move on. So, tell me about some of your hurdles to cross.
I think one of our biggest hurdles that we've been facing recently and throughout the entire time, but definitely hitting more now, is sourcing our ingredients. Okay. The prices of everything have been going up, so it's hard to try to find reliable sources where to get our raw material from, and keep that within our budget. And then I feel like there's a lot of things that you don't think of when starting a business with the startup costs that, just take a toll as well. You don't really prepare for your machinery breaking down when you are having a big order come in or anything like that. So I would say that those are our big hardships right now.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, some things I did in Mother Hubbard's, just to give you ideas, was I had to have a backup for everything. So if the electricity went down, I could switch to gas. If the gas ran out, which it never did, you could switch to electricity. And in terms of toilets and bathrooms and sewerage, there had to be two systems for everything. So there was a backup plan. Same thing with water pumps. There had to be two water pumps if one pump goes down. Because when you open that door and you open that business, there's no time to stop. It's like driving a racing car. It's like driving a racing car, and you are the driver. So you have to keep the car going. So one problem you say is sourcing materials. So where does the popcorn, most of it originate from?
We get most of our kernels from the Midwest, from like Iowa and all those Midwest regions. I feel like that has the highest quality corn.
Okay. Well, if our listeners are listening and they want to make some input into this, they're always very good to give me advice as well. I learn a lot from my listeners, especially people like Tony King is an experienced, retired restaurant owner himself, and he's very good with knowledge, and other people give me advice as well. I will have Jimmy Grady on here to sing a song for us shortly, and we'll do that in a few minutes. Adam Cardona is the owner of Elite Healers, that's health and wellness, medical and sports massage. And he gave me some advice already for your product, for the popcorn, on the health benefits of popcorn. And this will be very good because I'll explain those. So I think I'm going to call Jimmy now to sing a song. So Jimmy, are you ready to sing a song for Kerri and Brianna? Okay, Jimmy. So Jimmy is going to sing a song for us. And then I'm going to come back and we'll talk further. I'll give you some of the highlights and you can agree or disagree with Adam Cardona. He's health and wellness, elite healers, medical and sports massage. Because I did ask him a number of questions. I'll tell you what he said. And you can say yay or nay, comparing popcorn to other products. Okay, let's get on with Jimmy.
All right.
Last night I dreamed you were back again, larger than life again, holding me tight again, placing those same kisses on my brow, sweeter than ever now. Lord, I remember how couldn't get enough of kissing. Do you know how much you're missing? No, you don't, but I do. The days like a slow train trickle by, and even the words that I write refuse to fly. All I can hear is your song haunting me. Can't get the melody out of my head, you see. Distractions are amusing. Do you know how much you're losing? No, you don't, but I do. But I do, and I wonder if I'm past the point of rescue. Is no word from you at all the best that you can do? Never meant to push or shove you. Do you know how much I love you? No, you don't, but I do. I swore I'd never fall like this again. Fools like me never win. Came to my knees again. Can't close the door on a likelihood. Things might be just as good. I always believed they would. Gotta let your love invite me. Baby, do you think it might be? No, you don't, but I do. I know you don't, but I do. I know you don't, but I do.
Okay, I'm back to my guest today. The podcast called us Good to Talk. I always have guests on. Today is no exception. Kerri and Brianna Popcorn. And we'll explain more about the fundraising in a few moments because I opened up my shop too. But I did speak to Adam Cardona of Elite Healers, Sports and Health Massage. And some of the questions I had for Adam was the health benefits of popcorn. And he listed a number actually. He said it's good for blood pressure, good for fiber, good for your intestines, it's good for weight loss, it's good for a lot of things. And it can be, if you're on a diet, you can substitute it for, say, other meals as a snack, okay? So he mentioned all those positive things. And then I asked him to compare it to other fad diets like Herbalife. That guy died at only 44 years old. It looked like a lot of pills and all that and all that and all that. Anyways, that was sad that he died so young. International company, worldwide, Herbalife. And then we went on the Atkins diet, it's like, I guess, low calorie, whatever. Then I mentioned to him the cabbage soup diet.
Yeah.
And the cabbage soup diet, Adam said, it's a bit like the drunken uncle at a wedding, you know? It doesn't get good press. And he said, it's nothing wrong with it. It's a good diet as well. But, you know, like every diet, there are ups and downs, and then yo-yo dieting, as I'm sure you're familiar with. So those are some of the things that Adam expressed. And if anyone has more questions for Adam, they can shoot me an email at jhfornews@yahoo.com. Adam will be back on here. He's usually back on here 2 months before the New York City Marathon to give advice on running the marathon, how to prepare, and then after the marathon, how to recover. Very important. He did advise one of my guests on here, and that was Claire Hickey, and she ran the New York City Marathon and beat her time, thanks to Adam. She ran the Boston Marathon and beat her time, thanks to Adam Cardona. Elite Healers, and then she ran in London.
Wow.
So she's still running, a bit like Liffey, I guess, yeah. So back to, what do you think of Adam's comments about the dietary aspects of popcorn?
I agree. I agree with everything that he was saying. And I think that the fun and unique thing with popcorn is you can use it for health benefits, and then you can also make it into like a snack as well. If you're looking to have something a little bit more, yummy and tasteful, you could do a caramel popcorn, or you could do just plain popcorn. We pop our popcorn in coconut oil, and that has a lot of health benefits to it as well. So I feel like I agree completely with what he was saying.
A lot of our popcorns are very, very delicious, but they also have a lot of treats on them. So I guess you have to be careful which ones you pick.
Well, actually, Adam did mention that because he looked at the fundraising sheet that I gave him, and he said, yes, he said, depends on the additives, like the flavors, perhaps, okay? Because I know you have one that tastes like cheddar, bourbon, garlic.
Yeah, a little bit of all that, yep.
A little bit of everything, yeah. And like some I probably would go for, and some I probably would not go for. The buffalo Brett, that wouldn't be my favorite, okay?
Yeah.
People their own. Caramel, maybe. Cheddar, yes. Old Town Mix. Tell me about the Old Town Mix.
That is actually a combination of caramel and cheddar, which I know sounds outrageous when you first hear it, but it's one of the most popular flavors in Chicago. Okay. So we took a spin on it and we made it our Old Town Mix for Orangetown to make it a little bit more homey.
Okay, that's good. Let me see what other ones do I like. I like them all, I guess. Well, getting this Celtic puff, that sounds very Irish. What's that about?
That is one of our top sellers. It's amazing. Really? It's actually not a popcorn. It is a corn puff, so it's still a corn snack, and we coat that in a nice buttery caramel. And we came up with that idea because my dad is an entrepreneur himself too, from Sligo. Good. And his company is called Celtic Sheet Metal. So he helped us put together a lot of the machinery in our shop. So we dedicated that flavor to him.
What's his name?
Brendan Cunney.
Brendan?
Cunney.
Cunney, okay. I'll have to ask my good friend Pat McGettrick, probably knows him from Shawmut Construction. Because the Sligo people are very, very tight, they very clannish, they stick together,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely like that. So let's talk now about the fundraising. I know you opened up a shop for me and for the Mayo Society, half of the proceeds that people buy. And I noticed a lot of them are reasonable, like $13 for basic ones. I like the bar blend 2-gallon tins, $65. That's like something you put on the center of a bar and people just pick. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. And you have a couple of those and a couple of flavors. Then you have 3 packs at $34. And that's pretty like maybe a family birthday party or something like that, or children's birthday party, okay? Those type of things. So let me see what else we have to talk about. Explain the fundraising again. I know you did it.
So what we do is the nonprofit organizations, sports teams, whoever's looking to raise money, they set up a shop like you did, John, and we send out a link. For your purpose, you have one link for your whole organization for the Mayo fundraiser. If it's a sports team, each player can get a link. They get their own personal link that they send out via social media, things. Kids today are really good with technology, so they just shoot out text to everyone. They send their text to, all of their supporters and say, hey, support this fundraiser for someone who needs an operation, or hey, support our basketball team. We're coming to Chicago. Their customers, their friends, their cousins, whatever, buy the popcorn, and we do everything. We cook it, we ship it right directly to them. Right. So the person running the fundraiser, such as yourself, all you have to do is send out the link to everyone. When it's over, you'll get a check for 50% of everything you've sold. Okay,
the check will go to the Mayo Society. But I will let Kieran McAndrew, president of the Mayo Society of New York, and Maureen Gibbons, to get the link and for them to send it out to everyone on their social media. Because they're always bragging about how many friends they have, with like kids, teenagers, of course.
And just have them to send it to social media, text it to everyone.
Yeah.
However they want to get it to them.
And you know what? It's not a huge outlay for someone to buy a product and then support a charity at the same time. So I love the concept. And, I mean, the other contestants at the Tin Wins finalists, and a shout out to Rob Walsh and Lewis Garcia and the other people that were involved in that. I think it's a brilliant idea too. And I know Robert Walsh does a program on 10 Wins called The Bottom Line. Yes. And that's about business. And when it comes to, like you people have to do, you have to make a profit, you have to survive. Otherwise, the business won't run efficiently. but the other contestants were good too. I was shouting for yourselves, of course.
Thank you.
There was only one. You were whittled down to 5, which is very, very impressive. And the other lady won that was involved with the library and books and education and so on and so forth, and all that. And congratulations to her for her, and indeed to all the contestants. And well done to Tintin Wins for putting up the challenge. The main prize is $10,000, not too shabby, very nice, and it helps you with your marketing and so on and so forth. So how do people get in touch with Kerri and Brianna for your products and for fundraising?
So all of our social medias are Bre Marie Popcorn, so you can go onto any social media and look us up on there. Our website is BreMariePopcorn.com. You can set up a fundraiser with us online, or you can give us a call at 845-499-7522, and we can help you set it up over the phone.
Well, I know when I set up the fundraising store with yourselves, it was very easy. I mean, I impressed myself. I'm not a great IT guy, but I got it done, I think, in less than an hour.
Yeah.
And I was up and running, and I was bragging to my friends and saying, I have a shop. I just opened a shop today. And they're like, you opened a shop and you didn't even move your ass? I said, yeah, I didn't move my ass and I opened a shop. I still have my art show going on in the Bronx at 270 Ryder Avenue, and I'll be up there till mid-July at least. So when I finish, that space is available for any entrepreneur that wants to set up a business. It's 8,500 square feet, and it's on the 4th floor. It has elevators and all that. But in the meantime, I have an art show there. I still have some marketing tables if anybody wants to come and set up a table to promote a product or a book or whatever they want to promote. The art, I have loads of art. It was donated to me by Nancy Purnell's family. Nancy was a good friend. She died in 2018. She was 88 years old, and she worked up on 2 days before she died. And they left me a lot of Nancy's art, which I'm very thankful for. Proceeds from that will go to the Ronald McDonald organization here in New York for kids with cancer. Carla Mila is up there showing her art. We'll put some of that up in a moment. And you get nice handmade gift cards in general, occasional cards. And it's sponsored by Liffey Van Lines, of course, and Big Apple Mini Storage, LTB Mechanical, they're heating and ventilation people, and Elite Healers. Adam gave a voucher for a free massage on Park Avenue. That's not too shabby either, I guess. Get a massage on Park Avenue. Yeah, that's that. He's located on Park Avenue. And Hell's Kitchen Tax Group. That sounds hot too, doesn't it? Like hot popcorn. And let me see, did I leave anybody out? Because I have a habit of doing that sometimes. And the United Print Group, of course, and the Irish Examiner. United Print Group is another networking guy I work with for printed materials like shirts, mugs, pens, and stuff like that. So I'll send you his information too, Tom Sanchez, and he has better prices than for print or maybe where you're buying your stuff already. Okay. If you want uniforms for your staff and stuff like that. Tom at the marketing table at the event, and everybody is welcome along. IBO, Irish Business Organization, I know they're tuned in. If they want to send anybody to set up a table, more than welcome. So let's see what else we have to talk about. We covered a lot, I think, today. I'm glad that you're on the show. I'm glad you opened up a shop for me. The Mayo Society will be on here sometime in the future too, to talk about their manifesto, what their plans are for the year ahead. And they're always looking for new members if anybody would like to join the Mayo Society. There is also a Sligo Society, by the way. So you never know how they all work together. So I think I'm going to sign out. Anything to say before we go?
Well, first of all, thanks for having us, John. Really appreciate it. And we wish you guys luck in your online shop for your fundraising effort.
Thank you very much. Brianna?
It was great to come on and talk to you.
It's good to talk, yeah.
Great to talk.
Great to talk. Okay, so I usually sign out in my native language because my first language is Irish language, the Gaelic. English came second thanks to Queen of England. And now I speak better English than the Queen of England. That's easy, she said. Leave her alone. Of course. So we say Slán Abhaile, we say that means goodbye for now. Sin Scéal means that's the story. Sin Scéal Ella means there will be another story. Or Bé Scéal Ella means we'll have another story to continue. Slán agus Slán go fóill, and I usually sign out in the national anthem of Europe. Bye bye.
Bye. Thanks, John. Bye.